all you need to do is farm on Dusa. Dusa carries the game, right? And eventually, all you need to do is it's very similar to what Cuckoo did last game, where his role is to sacrifice himself to make sure Drow's not strong enough.
Mm-hmm. And I think
it's okay for him to die a bunch as long as Dusa survives that engagement.
True. You have to go past the lanes, right? In the first game, there were a lot of problems with what Creepwave did, but one of the big ones was that they lost the lanes really hard. So hopefully they do a better job here. I think Kunkka should have a pretty decent time versus the Shrek. I also feel like Drow doesn't really care about NP that much. Yes, she's a range hero, but they do have the Bane, and he trades so well that even though he's a range hero, he doesn't care about treants. It's probably one of the best supports to have in that lane. Range supports, at least.
That's very true, actually. I mean, he's not going to be able to clear them, as you said. But, well, you can get shard later on, though, and clear them relatively easily.
Yeah, it's not really about clearing. It's just that, like, you don't lose that much HP just because Brain Sap is so spammable. So...
Yeah. No, but what I mean is that, like, in the... Oh, actually,
wow.
That was quite the slow by Jeffer.
60% damage reduction.
Oh, my God. Can't believe I get to say big shield crash by Jeffer nowadays. But... Yeah, so what I was saying, though, is that in the mid game, it is true that you can kind of abuse the Bane, because you don't really have a hero that can go into the dead lane and deep push it as easily until we hit minute 20, and then you get the shard on Bane, and honestly, one of the best shards in general for heroes, because it mitigates his one biggest weakness, and then you can just easily split push.
True. I agree. Let's see. I'm really curious to see what Cuckoo is going to build, because I think he was very selfless with the way he played game 1 with the Legion. I think this game he has to be a little bit more greedy. I would love to see the Orchid. I would love to see anything that can just stop the Fiend's grip. If he does that consistently, I think the game is just much easier for T1.
Yeah, I would agree. Cuckoo, I think, is a big... I think Cuckoo's gonna be a big reason, or like I want to see the impact he can have on Nature's Prophet in general, right? Regardless of like, you're right about what you mentioned, but I'm interested in what Cuckoo's plan for this Nature's Prophet is, because I don't think traditional Nature's Prophet as we see him is enough to justify this pick just yet. Which, by the way, he's gonna suffer. There's the Fissure. We have a Brain Sap as well. Body block by Fishman, not too successful. Still can use the Brain Sap, a little extra damage, and Cuckoo is going to die. First blood going the way of Creepwave. Whitemon not strong enough to stop Fishman. Well done.
That was actually so good by Fishman. He actually canceled his attack just to give first blood to Crystallis. Kind of dangerous, because sometimes you can do that and the enemy just survives. But it did work, so kudos to him.
I can imagine Bane is one of the few heroes, or few fives as well, that can, at least out of the range ones, that can actually tank the tower.
Yeah. Such amazing stats on that bad boy.
Yeah. Nice little 5 base armor, good HP, nice regen. He's one of the lane dominator 5s that we stopped seeing last patch. You know, the Ogres, the Banes, the Elder Titans. Yeah. They kind of phased out over, especially towards the end of the patch.
Let's see if this is gonna change. The hero's looking really good, especially when you first pick it and like no one addresses the hero, which might change. Yeah. You know, if Bane starts looking really good. So far, doesn't feel like T1 sees any problem with Fishman playing that.
No, I agree. I mean, I think they should respect it a bit more. I also think Bane's really good. I think the Nightmare buff is actually incredible. I hasn't even mentioned it for some reason. It actually mentions it in
the pure damage.
It's interesting. They haven't really fixed the tooltip properly, but yeah, now that it deals the pure damage, it deals 210 pure damage at level 4. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Fishman fighting Whitemon to the death, but he's gonna be fine. Slacks all over the game. He is destroying Whitemon. Whitemon is really struggling against his Bane. It's just like, just please stop hitting me. He's trying to find the place out. He's blocking the camps though. Well done, Whitemon. But Fishman's still getting a lot of harassment in.
Oh, they're TPing Shaker Meadow. Is this a kill? I guess they don't even need a Shaker.
Well, they do. There's the Fissure. Just in case, you know, Shaker wanted to be useful here. We have a Torrent. Oh, no. Torrent in 4 seconds. They didn't want to chase after that.
He gave up. He thought it was not possible.
I mean, you know, I think he took more advantage of the Creepwave that way. And the team's name is Creepwave. So I think that's the most important part of the character.
That is true. You gotta
Do you know, by the way, why they're called Creepwave?
I don't.
It's a great story. So Fishman, the captain of this team and the guy who has the slot as well, he was playing a pub, and I forgot who it was, but someone told him that like he was playing badly, he was having a bad pub, right? And they told him that he is so bad that they'd rather just have another Creepwave in the game, as opposed to him, you know, being the 5. And so they called him his team Creepwave because he's like, well, I guess we're as good as a Creepwave. That's the Creepwave story.
Okay. Okay. I mean, sometimes all you need is a Creepwave, but that's a funny story. That's pretty cool.
Fishman owning his toxicity in pubs.
Yes.
For those of you who think that you stop getting flamed once you reach Immortal, that is not true. Cuckoo?
That is not true at all.
He is going to try to TP out, but unfortunately the damage is too high. And Chuvash deciding we're back to the tri-lane days, not leaving this top lane whatsoever. Neither is Fishman. And then leaving the Timbers alone, having a pretty easy time as they're actually completely destroying Cuckoo's early.
I think one change that I noticed, like usually you would never lane a Shaker in the bottom lane just because you didn't really get a lot of value out of it. But now with the bounty rune spawning on both sides and water rune spawning on both sides, it feels like as a roamer, you could be anywhere. And I think he is getting a lot of value out of his rotations and TPs. I'm very impressed by Chu so far. The way he's moving.
I agree. I mean, I told you, he likes his beefy 4, so I think he's just waiting for his time to come back and be able to gank again with these heroes. They find Whitemon. No spike Carpus, which means he might be a kill. Never mind, got a beautiful impale off this. Whitemon still slow by the frost arrows. They're coming into this, body blocked by the treants, and they can't reach him. Ooh, the multi-shot! Barely short. They even got BZM God, Hansha, into the game, but he's not going to be enough to kill off Whitemon just yet. He's actually just going to dive, going for the MP. They use the ghost ship. Cuckoo is going to be sunk down to the depths of the ocean, where they will drown him promptly.
And this is awful because Carl actually tried to TP and help, and he has to cancel the TP. Now he's walking back, he's not farming, whereas Hansha is just doing so much around the map. This is a totally different Creepwave.
Yeah. Seriously, this draft feels much stronger for them, not gonna lie. They feel like
mega creeps, honestly. It's not a normal Creepwave.
There's the Creepwave with wolves from the like. Carl, you bring it back. Fishman, okay. Fishman thought they were playing more aggressive than they were, and instead he put himself in a really precarious position, killed off by the Leshrac. Unfortunate. Well, that's the first kill for T1. Not the most valuable one, but they needed that. And it's a bit for the Leshrac as well, who's going to start improving a bit.
Okie dokie. So, I'm very interested about this Leshrac hero, because, when I read the notes, I was like, alright, they actually made Edict pure, and they pretty much just tuned the damage so that it would do relatively the same amount of damage to towers.
Yep.
But if you actually click on the Ancient, he or like even the towers. I'm sorry, like the tier 3 has 16 armor, tier 2 and tier 1, tier 1 actually has 12. So against these higher armor targets, like the tier 3, you will do more damage just because it's pure, so it's unaffected by that. And I think that is kind of above that a lot of people maybe didn't realize yet. I'm very interested to see how much damage Carl's going to be able to do to those bigger targets, bigger Ancients.
You also do much more damage to heroes. Most of them.
Yes.
Right? Unless you're playing with like a Slaughter TA or something.
Especially cores.
Yes. Yes. Agility cores particularly. Right? Now they fall. In fact, Lesh versus Morphling, that is a fun time now. you activate Diabolic Edict, and if you catch him with a single split earth, he will melt. Whereas before, Diabolic Edict actually didn't do that much damage to a Morphling or a Timbersaw, for example. Talk about the Lesh though. They try to go for Chrysalis. Really good body blast by Whitemon, but they needed that Sprout. Cuckoo got stopped by Chuvash. And Whitemon, he has been slowed down by the Frost Arrows. Already the Spike Carpus. They block the multi-shot with the Treants. Cuckoo properly get downing Mr. President, creating sacrificial pawns for himself, so his core or his support won't die.
Oh man, I'm so sad for Carl. This is the second rotation where he goes to a lane. Oh, and he might die. Oh no.
Oh, the ghost ship. Chuvash. And he starts to get the fissure damage. They're trying to kill off Carl. They get both at the same time thanks to the double damage. They even killed Zephyr in the bottom lane. Cuckoo, he tried to TP and help, but he's not strong enough. BZM God with the double damage. Too powerful.
Wow. This is an outstanding performance.
A standing performance?
Outstanding.
Oh, outstanding. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering, what about the perform? Okay, if you sit down, you don't perform as well. There's the Pango here coming by. Oh, they're actually almost going to kill Whitemon. Spike Harper's level 1, not good enough for the stun.
There
He
is
still have the double
there.
damage. He wants one last Tidebringer. He will get it, but Hansha, or PCM rather, put himself in a really precarious position now. And just need one more stun. That's going to guarantee the kill. And they also get Chuvashu in the back line. So a bit of overconfidence here by Creepwave. They thought, oh, we can just sneak in one more kill. But the moment you're thinking, I can sneak in a kill, is the moment you should stop.
That is true. They really wanted that tower. It was looking really good. But I do think this is a good move by T1. In the last game, they were also very persistent in defending this T1 tower, which ended up just giving them a free game. So they do defend. I don't think this is going to last too much. Probably in the next Catapult wave, it will fall. But they do at least like hold the ground a little bit for the Dusa to keep farming, which 23 Savage is doing a really good job right now. Much more farm than the Drow.
I just want to point out, wonderful Kips in the chat told us that the story I told about Creepwave earlier, it was Ramses who flamed them. Which is interesting, because now I feel like half of the player pool has story, like Vanskor also has a story about Ramses flaming him. I guess that's just, if you play in Eastern Europe, you're going to get flamed by Ramses at some point. That's incredible. He is making the lore for half these teams. So thank you for that, Kips. Oh, she has video evidence. Oh, wow. Incredible.
Wow.
That's perfect.
Okay, okay. I mean, one of the most iconic flames from Ramses is the cancel meme. So I totally believe her.
And then there's the Vanskor one where he said that Vanskor is an old man, that he can't hit anything, and then Vanskor eliminated him from the close qualifiers and proceeded to retweet that.
I mean, you gotta be careful with who you flame, dude.
Yeah, honestly.
Tuppy flame Thompson, you know, that iconic flame. So you might just make a hero out of the person you flame.
Honestly, I think if you flame someone, it's like your Jinx game, Bowie. You know, it's like how a caster praises a player and they start losing. If you flame someone in a pub, they will win TI. That's how it works. So
dude,
careful, guys.
They might win TI against you. So like, be very careful.
Amar in the bottom lane, he's trying to just finish off this tower. It's not that valuable, you know, tier 1 off lane, but I think more teams these days, when you can play aggressively, are going to start taking this tier 1 off lane, take over the triangle a bit sooner. I think some teams will consider this, particularly against like Dusa drafts, Terrorblade drafts, you know, because it's easier to kill them now in the triangle with the nerfs they received.
And it's just like it is just a free lane that a lot of heroes cannot make use of. But as a Timbersaw, because you're unkillable, you definitely make a lot of use. Oh, cool. Should be fine.
Crystal is? Okay. It's important for Creepwave to hold their ground right now, as PCM just stuns himself. So does Crystallis. They're realizing the power of the Nyx. And BCM, he's going to be going for a build that a lot of people have been theorizing these days. What do you think of this? The Shadowblade Kunkka back in action, due to the changes now, since you combine it with Crystallis to get Silver Edge.
It is good, I think, against the Nature's Prophet specifically, since you know there's going to be some split push going on. There's definitely value there. I'm also interested to see what they will build on this Timbersaw. So he's going U Scepter. All right, it's going to be some extra catch for them.
I can see that being good, right? Because you, like, it's great for Nyx. The spell Shield Crash on Pango, kind of major, because you're maxing it.
Oh, true. You can
not something you usually consider, right? But
yeah,
it's very valuable these days now.
Bane just going for the casual Glimmer Cape. And the NP actually didn't go Orchid as I talked about. He's going Atos. That's interesting.
Anti-Timber?
I guess. Huh. I mean, it's a lot of stats. So he's going for a super heavy stats build. Has the treads. We'll see how this unfolds. They did buff Gleipnir a lot. Maybe that's something he tries out.
You know? Kind of legitimate. I can imagine him being one of the few heroes that are good with Gleipnir. I think that item is underrated, personally. I think it's much better than people give it credit for.
Yeah, I think the problem with Gleipnir, honestly, is just that it costs a lot of mana. But NP is definitely a hero that doesn't care about that, because you have the free trip back to base, and you also need the hero. So, generally speaking, you're going to be fine.
We're going to hear a smoke, or we're going to see a smoke, rather, because you don't hear these. These are silent, much like Whitemon, silent but deadly. Can he get the kill on Chu? He's going to go for the easy one. Chuvash is down. And maybe Amar as well, but BZM is here to join him. He has the Shadow Blade, catches up to Carl, sets up the Torrent, so has the Ghost Ship. Well, never mind. Can't use either because Carl has a Yulsa throw already, stuns himself. BZM still hasted. Carl just dying to the Timber Saw at this rate. He doesn't activate the Ball Kick, gonna die to the Tidebringer Cleave there. Fishman still has that Fiend's Grip. Nightmare first, that's gonna set up for the Ghost Ship. And at this rate, they're going to catch 2 cores relatively easily. Creepwave leaving no survivors. In fact, they want a third one. It's going to be Zephyr, but they can't get off the Fiend's Grip in time.
Okay. Yeah, that's really what I was scared about when I saw this NP pick. Because I think they have... First of all, they have no answer to the Kunkka. You have literally no answer, no save. And this Bane is just walking around, just setting up kills with Nightmare into Torrent. And it doesn't feel like Fishman is afraid of anything this game. So this is scary. But on the other hand, we will see a Gleipnir, I think.
Cool.
Cuckoo did queue it up. So
alright. I go for
let's see
Chubash.
if that can change the tide of this
Echo
game.
Slam! Chu wants to get the counter kill against Whitemon, and they might find it thanks to the help of BZM. He does have that X marks the spot. Bring back Whitemon, but the Spike Carpus preventing him from dying. Beautiful Impale, and Whitemon, he is elusive. He knows what it feels like to die, and he doesn't want to experience that again. But Amar knows no chill. There's a reason why the TF is part of his name, which I can't say on stream, though. And he's not going to be able to chase down Whitemon, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really happy for ATF, because in the first game, it kind of felt like it was an ATM 4T1. But in this game...
That was good. That was good.
In this game, he's 3-0. He's just styling on everyone. This is a much better game for him.
Yep, I agree. I mean, Timbersaw is one of his favorite heroes, right? There's a reason. I mean, this guy used to be a mid laner. Then you go into the off lane, you feel like it's less of a protagonist role, and Timbersaw is like playing mid from the off, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, people were saying that, Timbersaw got super mega nerfed, and maybe he was because he's not getting first phase ban as much, but he's still like super viable. I think as G won with it, now we're gonna see. I mean, Creepwave's looking pretty good with Timbersaw right now. Hero still very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, he just made his laning worse a bit. No, so he struggles more against his counters because Timberchain got nerfed heavily in damage, but I don't think he's that much worse. I think the Winter Wyvern nerfs actually are bigger than the Timbersaw nerfs, personally.
Oh, definitely, especially the core. I mean, core Wyvern, I think is dead.
How many heroes does
now,
9 need to kill? You know.
I mean, in 9's defense, Wyvern was already pretty much set up for buffs. Ice Frog just had to also... I'm sorry, for nerfs. Yeah, Ice Frog just nerfed core and support Wyvern, unfortunately.
That's true, that's true. They just want to make sure that Tundra can't get to TI. He's like, oh, that was too close, Tundra. You are never making it this close again. They found Cuckoo in the bottom lane. Up in the air, and poor Nature's Prophet will get down with a couple of broken bones. Everything committed for him. Happy. And for now, this Shadowblade build working nicely for PZM. A callback to the old times when Kunkka was treated as an initiator and not just a big tanky sailor.
And mind you, that kill was with Shaker not having Blink Dagger. His Blink Dagger's flying out now. I'm just very impressed he win for this Nature's Prophet. I'm having a hard time understanding exactly what they wanted, but like with my kind of dumb analyst brain, all I see is like a lot of reach on the side of Creepwave, and it just counters NP so much.
Yep.
We'll see. Maybe Gleipnir is just so broken it doesn't matter. It definitely, you know, with you being a global hero, it can have a lot of impact, I think.
Fishman?
Oh no, I just jinxed him again.
No, he knows. He knows there's Carl nearby. He doesn't know how to deal with the creeps. Bane's biggest enemy, more than one unit. What does he do now? There's too many. He can't deal with them.
It's just that he is from Creepwave, so he respects Creepwaves. He's not gonna...
Oh, right. He's a vegan in Dota, I see. They're gonna find poor Zephyr, and he's gonna die immediately to Amar. Hansha trying to reach after Cuckoo. He does have the haste rune here. Oh, immediate Atos. Not gonna be able to reach him with that. So, the one point I wanted to mention about Gleipnir earlier, which I think is why I think the item is undervalued, is that Gleipnir gives you Atos that goes through fog. Very undervalued part of the item. You can actually use it preemptively. You can use it on teams where you don't see them. They can't juke you with Gleipnir. It's very strong in that sense.
And does it give you vision once it hits?
Yes.
Like if
exactly.
you... Oh, okay, okay. I actually didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
But only for a brief second. Doesn't give you vision while they're rooted though. Just the
Oh,
moment that
okay.
it goes.
Like you,
Yeah,
you will see that you
will
hit
see
them, but you're not gonna
exactly.
get vision to cast spells.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can probably just sprout, right? Since you
Yeah.
do know where they are. So.
Also, if
That's
you're
cool.
good, it tells you how many enemies there are because it throws a projectile based on how many there are in the area. So if you can count the projectiles, you're like, oh, there's 4 people there on Kleipner.
All right.
There's a lot of like those kind of hidden interactions that people don't immediately think about, but I give you a lot of information on the item.
All right. All right. So, looks like I think the timing for T1 once again will be Discati. I think we might just be singing Creepwave a little bit too many praises because they did get Roche. I think they're playing really well, but it's only a 2k goal lead and they're yet to take a tier 2 tower. So, you still have to fear and respect this Dusa.
And that's what we're saying, right? It's not like T1 has a hard game to execute. They just farm Dusa win game, right? It's Dusa go burr.
Yes. And I think overall they're struggling to use this Aegis advantage. I feel like they played really well up to that point, but they might be just slightly complacent with the way they're playing right now. I think this tier 2 should already be down. And Crystallis is alone. Or, I mean, not alone, but he's being hit.
Yeah, he's being hit. He's in the wrong position. He does 4 steps to the high ground, but Pango falls through with this. Fishman has a Fiend's Grip, hasn't been able to use it. Fishman, saved by the Gust. There's the Fiend's Grip going on the Pango, the fence of the game, and it's going to get a kill on the Pango, working out nicely. 23 Savage not there in time. Fishman saving himself with a pogo stick as Cuckoo also falls here to Amar. That's the TF coming into play here.
All right. That is a really good fight. They're going to take tower. This is good. They have to keep the pace. Age is going to expire, but I think this is finally like what you should expect to get with the first Ages in a game like this one.
Yeah, I guess in a game like this one, with the little push that you have, maybe a tier 2 is the best you can afford, right? Like 1 tier 2.
Well, let's see if you're right, because they won another one, and this Ages is going to expire in 15 seconds.
It was the classic Creepwave. I think they might be biting a bit more than they can chew, or perhaps not. Perhaps BZM is too good. They actually position themselves nicely to kill the Nyx. Can they do so though?
3 seconds.
Yep, that's been a second. Set it up. That's 3 seconds, but he lost his first life. Now he's out of position though. They can punish this. Fisherman can't help him out with a Nightmare. Gonna keep coming back. The 4-staff with the Hurricane Pike rather to get away, and the Echo Slam to reinitiate. But they don't have enough damage for the Dusa just yet. They're just trying to stop him from hitting. Fisherman will die for sure. Crystal is trying to get away. Avoids Split Earth from Carl. And Carl now has been hit by the X marks the spot. I don't know if they're in the winning position though. Creepwave, they will get Carl. Amar still alive, but Crystallis might not be so lucky. He's brought down by the Vendetta. Whitemon takes the kill. And they also hit Amar with the Fae Bomb, which means they now see him enough time to get that Sprout off. And the Athos as well, guaranteeing the kill on Amar the Friendly. Wicked 6 streak going the way of T1. And Deuce is still alive in this engagement. Oh, they kill Whitemon though with a Shadow Blade crit. And now he TPs in the middle of this. They can't stop this. Oh, he actually stopped it himself. It's fine. They think of counter initiating. Fiend's Grip in 3 seconds, but we did use a Sinister Gaze. Fishman has to survive the gaze. At least Fishman, Glimmer Cape, but they see him thanks to the Athos. They don't need any vision. Fishman saving himself with a bit of healing from the Brain Sap. The Sprat actually working against them, and they torn the Dusa. She's out of mana. They could go for 23 Savage, but BZM lacks the consistent damage to actually bring her down. Fiend's Grip was up, but they didn't have the resources to kill her.
Yeah, that was really close. 23 Savage was very bold with the way he played, but I think Creepwave, they were the bold ones, because I don't think they really needed to get the tier 2 tower. It was, I mean, that was actually lucky, because if tier 1 respected the Aegis... Oh, sorry.
They have Carl? It's big. Now this is successful Fiend's Grip, and he's far away enough so he won't die to the Leshrac. That's going to be a valuable kill here for Creepwave.
All right. Yeah, like as I was saying, they actually didn't wait for the Aegis. If they waited like 1 second, they would get the Drow kill and they could kill even more people. So that was the best case scenario for Creepwave, and even that didn't was not great. So you have to be careful. Tier 1, they won last ESL. These guys are really good, and if you slip up, they will eat you alive. All right, time for tier 2.
Yeah, let's see.
No Lash.
So, I mean, I think what they understand, though, is that one thing I really like about T1 is that they knew they could beat a Drow twice there. and they took their chances because of that, and they actually got a kill that they probably weren't expecting to. Now they also find Amar. Oh, the tip comes out from Carl.
No, the blink!
With a Gleipnir, they can catch up to him. That Glimmer Cape, is that going to be enough to save him? They have no stuns here to cancel his TP, so he's capable of TPing away. But they got a bar, and Carl, he's leading this charge with the Treants. He has a Yule Scepter, one last Treant, slightly body blocking Fishman, and they will find him. That's a dead Bane here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think the play was fine to go tier 2 there, but you have to be better positioned. And I don't think Creepwave really positioned well around that tower. And they just get heavily punished. This Dusa starts to get super scary, even though the draw counters it. Dusa is like 6k gold ahead. This is almost a 50% like net worth difference between cores.
And you can trust Bowie. He was a chemical engineer. So yeah, you're right. That makes it difficult for them to actually beat the Dusa. I think the supporting cast for T1 is also doing a really good job here, and they're taking the right fights. As I say this though, maybe Chuvaj hit by the Wrath of Nature. Fissure kind of used defensively here. Oh, Amar. Amar, you're crazy. Unless 23 Savage might be crazier. Is this Carl I'm watching or 23 Savage? He's apparently going to fight to the death here. There's no Stone Gaze. They need to help him somehow. There's the Rolling Thunder. That's going to be a bit of help. But the Fiend Script catches him. And is that going to be enough to finish him off? They don't have the damage just yet from these Savages attacking through all of this. The Torrent included. Finally, though, they'll be able to bring down the tanky Dusa as Crystallis falls, however, to the secondary cores. There's Cuckoo and Carl. They're also going to be able to find BZM God. And BZM, no longer a god, but a dead mortal. Amar, also in trouble. They break the Sprout immediately. They Gleipnir him. Amar has the Timber Chain. Will be able to find the farthest tree away from him. Has not been solved with a lucky shot, but his armor's been reduced. And that might just be enough. He gets one more kill into Cuckoo, though. Amar's still alive. Amar getting out of this one. And we still have an Echo Slam for Chuvash. He has to be careful. Zephyr can't get close. There's the Echo Slam used. They tear through Carl.
God.
Creepwave actually turned this around because of Amar.
Yeah, Timbersaw is trash, guys. Hero got heavily nerfed. Cannot play the hero anymore.
Oh my god, dude. I mean, I thought that was a really good fight, but T1 as well. Baiting the Dusa, forcing Creepwave to call your tankiest hero first. I like the idea, but I guess Timbersaw's still too powerful. They underestimated the power of this hero.
Yeah, I think the fight was really good by both sides. DNP actually went for the backlines and started hitting the Drow. That's how they ended up getting the kill. But once you kill the Drow and the Deuce is dead, I think you chasing the Timber was probably the mistake that T1 made. They definitely didn't respect him that much. That Timber is so farmed. He is the highest net worth hero on the side of Creepwave, actually. Maybe because of all of those kills, but he was still like super farmed. Okay. So NP going for a BKB now. This Shaker is feeling super impactful. He's 0-4 and 13, but I'm definitely like he's doing a lot despite not having the shard, which was what made Shaker good before they destroyed the shard, and he was trash again.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The one time where it was like, oh, Shaker's playable again? Well, it's okay. It's TI patch, as you said, so our Shaker has to be playable.
Exactly. Yeah, Roche is up.
Who's gonna be able to take Roche here?
I think the problem right now is that because Creepwave didn't really choke T1 as much as they wanted, even though Drow counters Dusa is Omega farmed, and I think this Roche like has to be Creepwave, or else this game might just snowball out of control.
White one. We'll find him with a Fissure. And that's going to be a dead Nyx. Not that big a deal, but at least you get rid of the Scout, which might give you a chance to go for Savage here. Savage, once again, he's playing really aggressively. This might be the same play as before, but will it succeed a second time? Or did it even succeed the first time? There's a Rolling Thunder, the counter initiation's here, and Carl with a BKB, he's bringing down Crystallis. Crystallis doesn't last at all against Carl. This time, T1 knew exactly what they were hoping for. Baited out the Dusa, and got the kill on Crystallis. Zephyr deciding to roleplay as an armadillo. That's not going to help him. Cuckoo now trying to run away. Wrath of Nature has the Sprout, Gleipnir himself, but he's still dead.
Okay, so there is buyback on P. They could still go for the buyback and protect Roche if T1 deems that's important. Oh, Zephyr.
They bring down Zephyr, so at least a small kill here.
This is Orchid, Kunkas buy Orchid sometimes, but it's so much value this game because the Dusa went for Senjin Yash instead of Skadi or BKB, Manta or BKB. It kind of debated them when they went for the Dusa the first time, but overall I think there's a lot of value in this. They don't have like a Lotus Orb, no Dispel heroes on the side of T1. Shard on the draw, that's so good versus Dusa.
Yeah, I agree actually. Shard got steadily improved as well. You know, the talent pretty good for the Shard as well. People went from thinking it's the worst Shard in the game to actually thinking, yeah, it's pretty decent. I'll pick it up whenever I can.
Yeah, like, it's not amazing, but I do feel like just like the region reduction to have against Dusa, like usually you see Dusa's going for Satanic eventually. The Dispel is actually really good on Dusa this game because you're against this Orchid, but it might not even be an option for Savage anymore just because of that region reduction. So it's like much better than Skadi.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Skadi is good because it pierces BKB, right? But because Dusa never goes for BKB, or usually doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So that's what.
And it is much cheaper than Skadi too. So
obviously, yes. Actually, that's a big point, right? Fishman. There's the Rolling Thunder, and that's gonna be a dead Fishman. Chuvash. He's thinking about going in, but I think this is the wrong choice. Well, I'm gonna go in anyway. Amar, he doesn't know the meaning of the word fear. That's why he's going to be able to exterminate the cockroach. Amar just leading 23 Savage the wrong way. Gust misses though. Amar tanking this nicely. He has a Bloodstone Sage. You're not killing Amar. Amar just wants a hug. That's why he's called Amar the Friendly. Come on. Help him out. He just wants to play with you, Pango. Goes out to the high ground.
That friendly though.
Death. There's the Chakram. Cut him to pieces. Zephyr tries to roll into a ball, but it's going to be the Kunkka that brings him down.
All right.
I don't know what the TF could possibly mean otherwise, but I clearly is just Amar the Friendly.
Yes. He definitely is very friendly with the
Timber
huge net worth, 18k gold net worth. Oh, Carl, hello. Want to play?
You know, Amar really likes being called by his name, right? He doesn't like being called by ATF or anything. But I think he's okay with being called Chadmar, which is what his real name is. So
I see.
Yeah. That's cool. We do have an Orchid. Okay.
What?
What just happened? How did MP? Oh, he has a BKB. Right. I mean, you could have just Orchided him. I guess he could have just BKB TP'd, but I don't understand why he did that.
Okay.
BZM thinking he's too good for the game.
Oh boy. All right. So can T1 win this game? I
love the Fishman decided to deward before killing Whitemon, sorry. As they're going to get another kill on Whitemon, not a big a deal, but one extra.
Alright. Wow, Timber's 25 already. Jesus. He's ahead of the Dusa. He's just been farming the whole game. He's 15-2. What? This is insane. Beautiful.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, the Timber also has no... I mean, virtually, T1 just didn't look at the bottom side of the draft because the Bane's free, Drow's pretty free, Timber saw has no counters but the Lash, right?
You're right. We did mention that in the draft, right? They were pretty much just copying the playstyle they went for in game one instead of like trying to counter, which sometimes can be good. I do feel like, you know, with the meta changing, though, you got to be careful because they did go for some very different heroes than Dusa is used to playing against. Yep. At least, like, before 730 came out.
I mean, Drow aside, right? There's Drow Dusa's struggling against a lot. I think the new build on Kunkka for PZM also helped him out a lot. I think the Orchid's pretty strong this game, as you mentioned. The Shadow Blade was really useful for setting up a... like, we don't usually see Kunkka setting up that much tempo these days anymore. He's just a tank. They don't actually set up kills. Shadow Blade helps you a lot there.
True.
Oh, Punch or BZM using that BKB. Whitemon's the target, destroyed by the ghost ship. Amar still tanking the Dusa damage. He's a Hex, by the way. Oh, but it put Chrysalis up to the high ground.
Easy.
Swashbuckle. He does have the Aegis, though, has the Hurricane Pike to get down, so he's choosing to stay here. And the Fiend Script will actually catch 23 Savage. He's out of mana because the Fiend Script's active. And that's going to be a dead Dusa for Creepwave. That Fiend Script, let's not forget, it actually does take away part of your mana every second, so super huge counter to Dusa. Finally got to do it.
Dude, actually, it's been so long since Bane was viable that I totally forgot about that part. Yeah. But you're right. It drains mana, and you have no hero pretty much on the T1 that can easily cancel that. This is... Oh yeah, this is an oversight for sure. There's no way. It's so much mana that you can take out.
I was telling this to Richie actually last game that most people when they think of Bane, they think of him being yesterday rather. Most people think of Bane as a hero being cancelled by stuns, but that's actually not true for the most part. He's cancelled by the dispels, right? Because if someone has to go out of their way to stun you, that's a win for Bane in a way. You're a 5 after all. But if someone has to just waste a press the attack or a false promise or whatever from range, that's not that big a deal. As we get into the fight, by the way. BKB from Carl. He doesn't want to get stopped. Oh, Nightmare. Actually, saved Crystals for a bit of damage, but that's not going to be enough. He has no Aegis any longer. And 23 Savage is here to fight. Amar gets rid of the Sprout, though, with the Whirling Death, capable of Timber chaining himself to safety, but they have lost their carry. They forced a buyback. That's all they could do. Still a good fight for T1, though, taking down the carry.
Yeah, but that's huge. That is win condition now for Creepwave. 23 Savage. He has a mark on his back. If he dies again, things get super ugly. Because I don't feel like, they might just get a tier 2. Oh, maybe if the Timber dies, they can get more.
Okay.
Chadmar, can you die?
Yeah, he's gonna die. That's gonna be a really good kill for T1.
Oh,
maybe not. Yules, find the splitter. Okay, Amar. Yeah, he's finally gonna fall. They had the Scotty, even with the Hex there. That was too strong. And this is a huge opportunity now for T1. They should be able to push down the tier 1, or the tier 3 rather.
Yes, I actually thought he died back, but he's just level 26. That's why his respawn timer is so big.
All right, let's go T1. The tier 2 is taken down. Will they proceed any further? Oh, apparently not actually. They decided not to go for it.
Yeah, there's no buyback on the Dusa. Like, if Timber has buyback there,
it's too
could
dangerous.
Be super risky. Yeah.
Right. One thing that I like that Savage is doing, by the way, this game, which I think needed to be an earlier pickup, but I get why he didn't go for it, is he's going for Ag Shard now to deal with the Bane.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah,
the Shard and the Aghanim Scepter. Sorry, both of them.
And I don't think Glimmer counters that, right? Because I feel like the snake follows you regardless of invisibility.
Yes, the snake. Well,
yeah,
I mean, if you're the main target, I think it does, right? I think it hits you regardless of invisibility. Yeah.
Yeah, so it should, even if he glimmers before using Fiend's Grip, it should cancel, I think. We'll see. I know I'm the analyst, but all right.
Yeah, you are.
Dota makes this analysis makes this analysis very easy by making, things that seem very obvious, not obvious at all. So, especially if Bane being a hero that is not picked in the last, year, but we'll see. At least we'll learn.
No. I mean, T1 is, like we've said the whole game, like, they're still not in that bad a position because Dusa exists, right? And actually, MP can become that secondary carry you need. So it's never, completely over for them.
I would agree. Dusa also gets 25 now, so the Scotty there will be able to hit the Timber, hit everyone, reducing each region.
They just got Witchbane.
Ooh.
That is actually kind of insane here against the Dusa. Because in case you guys don't know what Witchbane does, new neutral item, the passive, or the active, sorry, is that it purchases allies in a 300 unit radius, which is not that big a deal, enemies and allies. But the active, it deals 7% of the enemy's max mana per attack as magic damage. Doesn't drain it, just deals the damage. But of course, against heroes like Dusa, it's kind of bonkers.
Yeah, it is. I mean, against Timbersaw, it has 2.4k mana.
No, this is for Creepwave, dude. So I don't know how you can use it against your own Timber. So.
Okay, sorry.
It's against the Dusa. Yeah, so it's gonna be very strong for Drow versus Dusa matchup. Honestly, that's why they pick it up on the Drow. The active doesn't matter too much this game, or it can be maybe, but it's really just about the passive. Yeah, and here I'm waiting for Kips to write her dissertation in the chat about why neutral items RNG is broken and why this is unfair to T1 and. I'm waiting, Kips. Don't worry. We'll read it later.
She might be writing this right now, so you don't have to wait that much. Carl.
Oh, Carl. There's the BKB plus Bloodstone activated. And Amar in the wrong position. Amar! He thought too highly of himself. He's going to be blown up together with Crystals as well. Easy 2 kills for T1. Cuckoo becoming powerful as now they find the Earthshaker. Yeah, sure, you have an Echo Slam, but no chance to use it. The stronger Earthbender is going to be the Leshrac. T1 takes down 4. Only a Kunkka left alive. They do have buyback, though, on 3 of these heroes. Only Timbersaw has now buyback.
So you ever wondered if you could be too Chad? I think Amar answered that question right now. That was way too Chad, even for him. And I mean, I don't know. This is a huge problem.
But it's also that T1's been proposing the fights well, though, mind you. I want to point that out. Like, whenever they make a mistake, they immediately jump the Drow. They know what their objectives are. They're utilizing the NP really well to make sure that Drow has no chance to hit.
Yeah, I agree. But that was... I mean, he definitely overestimated how much tanky he was, and he has no buyback going for a play like that. So this, they don't get any barracks, but this is going to be a free Roche, which is definitely what 23 Savage needs to hit those barracks.
Yeah. And now we have the Shard Scepter, by the way, on Dusa, which I think is a big deal. Refresher Shard as well. The cheese. I guess you give it to Dusa for double Stonegate?
I think so. Yeah, no boots. We'll keep both items there. You are playing as Drow, so the cheese might not actually regen that much, as long as she's hitting you. But, I mean, it's actually not going to regen at all, because you have Scotty and the Frost Arrows item shard.
Oh, yeah, that's nasty.
He might regen like 200 HP.
Yeah, but it gives you 1,000 mana still, right?
True. Yeah, I don't think it works for mana. True.
No, I know it doesn't work for mana. I was hoping you would know that.
Okay. Yeah, still gonna be slightly impactful. Alright, so I think they have to go back here. Creepwave, they're not in position right now.
Yep. And I think T1 will take your towers relatively quickly. We have level 25 Lesh. Diabolic Eating Explosions. He has a shard as well, which makes it really easy to push high ground. Creepwave needs a good team fight, essentially.
Yes. We do have Shaker, so that's definitely possible.
Good positioning here by Carl and Split Earths, we see. Like
yeah,
he's just,
I love that.
Covering Savage. Yeah. Can you imagine if you were hit by Scotty and then you oh, never mind. They found Fishman. He's super valuable. Carl jumps over him. Fishman, he's not going to be able to use the Fiend script this fight because he's been turned to stone and promptly shattered. They're going to bring down Fishman. 100 seconds without your fish. What are you going to do? They still have damage, but not as much control. And in fact, Carl wants more. He sees Amar, but Amar's a bit too tanky. The Fissure will hit him, but 23 Savage is only interested in one thing. Those are the racks. They do actually get crystals, though. Double Yules. That didn't set up for the Split Earth, so that actually stopped the Mystic Snake as well. Not ideal here.
23 Savage only thinks about one thing, and it's disgusting, and it's your barracks.
It's your barracks, your towers. He just likes buildings, you know?
I mean, it's such a hard fight to take. Oh boy, Chu.
Chu, careful. The Pango goes in. We have a shield crash. They're a bit afraid of committing too much. They actually do use the Yule Scepter there, but no follow-up. Good gust there. Still, though, your racks are falling. They can't run away like your heroes. You need some sort of protection for them. Still 40 seconds for Fishman to come back. Oh, no, Amar. And actually, it's going to be Crystallis because Dusa is playing like a melee carry, and it's working out. That's why Crystal is dead. He has buyback, though. But if they kill the Kunkka on top of this, it's going to be pretty major. The Fissure helping them out ever so slightly. They do burst down Cuckoo quickly, but that's in exchange for the Kunkka, and Cuckoo also has his own buyback and the TP. Age is still on 23 Savage. We have an Echo Slam preserved. Crystallis coming back into the fray. He has his own Blink Dagger, but he can't blink that closer to the Dusa. And the end is going to be Jeffer who falls, as Amar also dies there to Whitemon. Amar, I didn't actually see that. Amar went in for Jeffer.
Yeah. I mean, it's a rough spot to be in. You're having this, like... And that's the problem with Timbersaw in general, right? You can be mega impactful in the early game, but this hero does fall off. And considering how much of a bounty and net worth he was carrying... like he ends up giving a lot of gold, even though he like that's his job. Like his job is to create chaos and try to waste as much attention as possible so that his allies can hit people. But unfortunately, when he's doing that, he's dying because everyone on tier 1 is so farmed now. This might just be Mega Salvo.
We do see a Fiend script here on Cuckoo.
Oh, okay.
And, oh,
Interesting.
Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
23 Savage, okay, they hit him with a ghost ship. Active 4%, by the way, for Witchbane. I know I saw the corrections. I don't see the same screen as you guys. I can't get to read the items. I'm sorry. We do have the Stone Gates available here for 23 Savage. And he's just going to walk forward. Cuckoo, Gleipnir. Pretty big Gleipnir, but they need some follow-up, and in the low ground, it's harder for 23 Savage to hit. Amar is trying to create some space for them, and Savage, at least he does it the refresher, though. Has a second Stone Gaze, activates it immediately. Where's the Stone Gaze, though? That's all we need. He's been put to sleep.
14 seconds for
Waking
Roche.
up from this nightmare. That's going to be ages. Oh, they're waiting. They're trying to calculate it. That's a bit more damage, but they don't want to give him that free life. They don't want to give him that free healing to turn him into a pig. A bit more time. The nightmare. The Aegis is going to be expired any second. And they're going to cancel it immediately. They're the Torrent. They keep him stunned. Aegis is gone. Time to kill Savage.
Beautiful. Wow, that's so good.
At the same time, though, Fishman does die. Jeffer in trouble. They silence him. Jeffer, Yule Scepter. Up in the air. Silenced. Stunned as well. But doesn't matter. Because it's the X marks the spot that will send him to his death.
Wow, I'm actually really impressed. Like, if I was 22,000 gold behind like they are, it's really hard to be that disciplined when you're playing as such a farm Dusa. I'm surprised it worked that well, and they do hold barracks, so this is promising. I think T1 definitely got a little bit greedy there. They didn't have to force the Aegis that way, but they had the the same problem Amar had. You're so far ahead that you feel like you're invincible. Happens with all of us. Okay.
Yeah, but it's still T1 in a nice comfy lead, though, as you said, right? Like you have enough of a cushion for you to allow yourself to make those kind of mistakes. And I wouldn't even say that big a mistake. It's just Creepwave playing really well.
Yes, I would agree.
Carl? Oh, well, this might be a bit more crucial.
You just jinxed T1. Nice job, Avo.
Did I?
Maybe not.
What even is jinxing, Bowie? What do you think? You think T1 is going to be affected by my words as a caster?
I mean, you do have a very powerful voice. I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you know how many people praise T1 on the daily? You know how many people Philippines has?
I actually don't.
Yeah, me neither. Not off the top of my head, but it's a lot of people. It's a big country. Okay, that's all I know.
It is a big country. I went to the Philippines once. It is actually massive.
Yeah, it's also all of SCA pretty much supporting T1. They are unjinxable. Look at this. Unjinxable as they kill Fishman. Ghost Scepter for Nyx. That's going to help him out against Crystallis. BKB. Activate Crystallis, though. His objective is actually Carl, not to kill Whitemon. And Carl is much more valuable. Carl trying to survive. Going to get hit by the Silver Edge. Not going to get that chance. In fact, they also finish off Whitemon. So Creepwave. Now, I don't know if it was Jinx or they just decided to throw a bit, but it's good. A bit of throwing is good to keep you on your toes.
What did you say about Philippines and how big it is?
I don't know what I...
And unjinxable? Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I think that was kind of unnecessary. Still a huge lead, and I do feel like right now the draft of T1, like, this Dusa seems unkillable. Provided they just fight as 5, I think the game could be even in net worth, and I will still favor Tier 1. But they're definitely allowing Creepwave to recover. Roche might spawn. You know, what if Roche spawns right now? Like, this could be just a free Roche for Creepwave, and then the game completely turns upside down. All right. How many seconds? How much do you think Roche's gonna take to spawn?
I don't know. What is this game? Like, I don't know, 1 minute?
Okay,
oh, wow.
2 minutes.
Oh, almost the longest. Close to the longest Roche, huh?
Yeah, so...
Is this good for Creepwave?
No, it's not. I
Okay.
feel like... I do feel like T1... I mean, we did say that we consider T1 to be the better team, which means I feel like they will realize the situation they're in. They're going to control the big jungle, make sure Roche is theirs, and it might be hard to expect another mistake like that from T1, honestly.
I would agree with that. I mean, I would assume that eventually the Drow can catch up because Dusa will run out of slots, right? And then Drow is just capable of beating her.
The problem is that Dusa just stands her ground so much better. Like if they can just like impale Crystalis with no status resistance like he is right now, he can just be bursted. You know, there's a blink on the Shrek, there's global TP on NP. Whereas the Dusa, it is much harder. You're gonna need much more time to do the same thing. Smoke.
So I want to say, by the way, because I see a lot of people being confused about this, T1 is not playing with 300 ping. They are playing in Europe. They have the exact same ping. Please be respectful to Creepwave. Creepwave is playing a good game. So is T1. Whitemon. There you go. Gust. Pig. Oh, stop Savage, but Savage doesn't care. Savage just wants Fishman. They know they gotta get rid of that Fiend script first.
What a blink.
And they're gonna try to find Chu instead. Hansha. Is he capable of getting away? PCM? Not for now. Fishman's being chased down though by Carl. And maybe they might have just found their Dusa. The ghost ships? No, this is too tanky. Even with all the hexes, they need the damage. They need someone there. They kill off Whitemon in the backline. The Punisher Savage is fighting to the death. Cuckoo in the backline as well, finishing off PCM. They still wanted Fishman, but Fishman is a bit too slippery. However, Crystal has died, which is a win for you anyway. Carl does manage to kill off Fishman finally. And Chuvashu even dies in front. Oof. This should be GG. I don't think Creepwave stands a chance any longer. They have no buybacks in any of these heroes, and the Dusa is just too strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're totally right. The problem in this game is that even though Creepwave got a lot of, like they got a really good early game, they destroyed the lanes, they got that early Roche, I don't think they used the advantage as well as they should have. And Tier 1 being as good as they are, they made sure to capitalize on those kind of small mistakes that Creepwave did. You know, they pushed Tier 2 with the Aegis about to expire. Then they kind of didn't really follow